You are watching Tech Confessions, created by Amy Lewis and brought to you by VMware.
So, Ron, thank you for coming today.
My pleasure.
So, I wanted to ask you, what was your software-defined moment? When did you really make that transition from hardware to software?
So, yeah, wow. It sticks out to me because it was pretty poignant, right? I've spent my entire career focusing around hardware and ASICs and capabilities and stuff, right? And talking with a customer about how we do service insertion and we can instantiate load balancing and automate all of this build out that traditionally would take days, if not weeks, to do in the traditional hardware-defined world. And it really kind of clicked on to me that that's exactly what this is all about, right? Being able to improve the time to service and being able to automate it and deliver the service and functionality that traditionally just took forever to do. And the customer, picked up on my excitement of the technology because it's that cool when you start digging into it, and it was a game changer for me, right? It really changed my mindset from, we got to have forwarding and all this other information in the ASICs to where, no, actually we don't. We can do this in software, be successful, and solve problems for customers.
So what do you say to people, because you're talking about your own trajectory and how long you've been on one path. What do you say to people who say, oh, they're just trying to get rid of a bunch of jobs, or everybody has to be a programmer, or how do you allay some of those fears? Did you feel any of that yourself? Like, how did you stay current?
Absolutely. So the transition for me was 3 months of trepidation and, oh my God, what have I done? I've totally destroyed my family, my career, and my livelihood. And those of you who don't know me, I do Spartan racing and stuff. And the CEO of Spartan Racing has got a kind of popular thing about getting out of your comfort zone. And usually it's about rolling around in the mud or crawling under barbed wire or something stupid, right? But for me, it translated very nicely into this too, where it's get out of your comfort zone and actually give it the due diligence and do the work and see if it works for you and for yourself. And that's exactly what it was for me, right? It was one of those things where once I put some focus into it and said, what, can I be successful doing this? And in turn have our customers be successful doing this, it really...
It conquered that fear.
Yeah, it really clicked, right? It was one of those things where you're like, wow, this is hot stuff, and I can be successful doing this and help our customers do that as well.
So how did you kind of fast track into that knowledge? I love the Spartan racing analogy there. It feels like you would go in and train hard or find, what were some of the techniques you did to...
One of the coolest things that we've got available to us, and it's available to all of our customers, right, is the hands-on labs.
Yeah.
And certainly here at VMworld, they're downstairs and there's a ton of them and they're awesome. But you can also do all of them online for free.
Wow. Anytime,
right?
Yeah.
All you need is an email, and they don't even spam you, right? It's not like it's not like you get a bunch of solicitation like, hey, by the way, check out the new hands-on labs. It's literally just a login and authentication method. So it's hugely empowering to be able to say, what? Well, I wonder how that does work. Let me start up a quick hands-on labs, go in and try it, and if you're messed up, stop the lab, start a new lab, and it's fixed again, right? So you can experiment, and it's very kind of a safe place.
Better than in the live environment, right?
Well, yeah, certainly better than production. And traditionally, right, we always had to drop ship customers pallets and pallets and pallets of gear, and it would take days or weeks to cable up a topology in a lab. It's all software. We can build out an entire topology in minutes, and it's amazing, right? And we can do it all in the hands-on lab, and we have access to it 24/7, right? And we give it to the customers as well. So it's awesome.
So what are you digging into next? I feel like you're not the sort of person who will stay still. So what's it got you excited?
So probably the next big thing will be app defense, right? There's a lot of buzz if you're more about app defense. When we look at what app defense brings to the table, it's really kind of like micro-segmentation for applications inside of the hypervisor itself. So it really extends that security posture and adds an extra layer of defense that our customers are asking for, and it does it in such a unique and cool way that it's very exciting, right? So, and then being able to tie it into our existing NSX infrastructure and any of the customers' automation just becomes that much more enabling, right? And it's cool to see that we're driving that vision and driving that functionality for our customers to really solve a lot of their hard problems, right? Security is top line for everybody, and nobody wants to be the next customer that's on the Wall Street Journal front page of lost X number of millions of records or whatever. I've been a victim of that myself. It's no fun, right? And the more tools that we can give them to help, provide that defense in depth or layered security strategy, it's cool. And now defense is that next big thing from that standpoint.
Do you think security has become ever more a question, like you said, because we've all been impacted one way or the other? Do you think it's because computing's moving more to the edge, because we're creating more data? Do you think we're just more aware of it, or have we just created an environment that's hacker rich? What do you think?
So, probably a little bit of everything, right? Certainly we've created more data. I think of, just the telemetry I wear. Fitbit, I got a Garmin watch, and I'm uploading all this data to the cloud. I'm assuming that they're going to keep track of it and keep it safe, but what about the home smoke detectors, the Nest detectors, or the Ring doorbells, and the list goes on, right?
Right.
We were integrating technology into our life, but all of it's connected to some sort of cloud offering. It's not in our house, solely contained and secured by our brick and mortar. It's just become prolific. So you have to trust that somebody is securing it for you. And from a business standpoint, outside of the personal perspective, that's part of what we do, is we help those customers provide the security and the defense that their customers in turn expect from them. So certainly there's just more entry points and more data or more attack surface for customers or for the bad guys to get into to get data. Now if they want to see how slow I run, they're more than welcome. I'll share it.
That's
right?
a perfect tech confession, right? We'll get your miles per hour.
Yeah, exactly. It's not impressive. but I'm sure there's other data that they would like to have that I'd rather they didn't. So it's you have to kind of protect it all, right? So it's not an easy problem to solve.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this all with us, Ron.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm glad Andy created a spot for me.
Perfect. And when you're ready to make your tech confession, visit us at techconfessionstheshow.com.